sick. It is raining. I took a 2-hour nap. Now I'm doing live at the Roxy. So I said I'd be here every day December. I didn't feel like talking about anti-Semitism, but nothing else matters when Whoopi Goldberg doesn't shut the fuck up about the Jews. It's not true. A lot of other things matter. But this is the one that I'm most qualified to talk about. Listen, I might look like this and I might have a cold still. Cheers to emergency. Does this shit work? We don't know. Oh, it looks like it's the same color as my sweatshirt, but that is an illusion because it is like bright pink. Wow, you guys, this looks red when I show you. That's crazy. This is like as pink gets. This flavor is like strawberry kiwi or something, and this is red, and these look the same. I wonder if I hold it up next to something pink, if it'll look more pink. Okay, let's see. There's a pink heart on this. Oh, it looks red right now. Okay, well, sometimes. Sometimes. Okay, so I'll tell you guys about what's going on with Whoopi Goldberg, but also streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. This is the 27th day in a row that I'm live. Promised you guys that you wouldn't have to get through the holiday season alone and that I'd be here. So here I am. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Appreciate your support. I did SCN this morning, and then afterwards my voice was like fucking torched. And I was like, See, what's weird is that my only symptom is my throat. I don't know what that is. Do you think maybe that means it's like strep? Do people even get strep anymore? Let's see, strep throat symptoms. No, that would have a fever. I don't have that. Does strep go away on itself? Strep throat treatment. Let's see. Now I'm just making you guys my doctors. Let's see. Oh, you need an antibiotic? Or could it just go away by its own? If you have strep throat, which is caused by bacteria, doctor can prescribe an antibiotic. But strep throat goes away on its own in 3 to 7 days. Okay, well, it's been 3 days, so maybe it's fine. It's only my throat. It's so fucking annoying, but it's on fire. So then after that, I was like, oh, I gotta rest my throat. So I just laid down on my couch and I napped. So that's what I did. And then I was like, I gotta get up because I gotta go see the people. Promised them I'd be there. Gotta get up for the people. So here I am. Clearing your throat might just be strep throat. Use honey. Huh. All right. I'm gonna drink this vitamin C and then I'll have some honey. Maybe it's a little better tomorrow. Just a spoonful of honey helps the strep throat go down. Strep throat go down. The strep throat go down. Just a spoonful of honey. All right, so let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg. And again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. By the way, I haven't heard from Canada in 3 days, which isn't that weird and wouldn't be weird because I know he's out of town, but he had been texting me every day. I was going to text him today, but I kind of want to see how he moves. This is my problem. You guys tell me. I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday about this. This is my problem with dating, which we all have to check ourselves. I was so fucking excited about him when he was messaging me. Now that I haven't heard from him in 3 days, I don't know whether it's my walls going up or what, but I just get like the longer I don't hear from somebody, the less I'm into them. I feel like when I was younger, it used to be the longer I didn't hear from them, the more I was like, oh, whoa, like I'm so into them and I really, really like hope they reach out, blah, blah, blah. And now in my 30s, if I don't hear from somebody, I'm kind of like, well, I guess that wasn't my dude because meh. But I don't know if it's bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it could be totally fine. So I want to keep an open mind about it. But like, it's bad. It's annoying to me. I'm annoyed with myself that when I don't hear from somebody, I like them less. That's not fun. I want to be like feeling giddy about it still. And I was like, oh, well, what a shame. Mm. So anyway, okay, this is what happened with Whoopi Goldberg for those of you guys who didn't see. Again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Show up, show that support. We got like 0 support on the show yesterday. But I appreciate you guys. I know times are tough. So a year ago, if you weren't paying attention, Whoopi Goldberg said that got removed from The View, suspended from The View for I think it was 2 weeks because she said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And what was crazy about that is that Hitler and the Nazi Party continued to put out legit, like in their speeches and in their writing, statement after statement saying they were mass exterminating the Jewish race. I posted on Twitter a quote of Hitler's, which is something you very rarely will hear me say, but just to explain to you guys how much the Holocaust was about race, because some people are straight up ignorant. This is from 1919 from Hitler. So I want you guys to know, obviously, World War II was not for almost 20 years after this. And the largest part of the extermination of Jews would have been from 39 to 45. So this is 1919. This is what Hitler said. And I'll explain why that's relevant. But this is what he said. He said, anti-Semitism as a political movement must not be and cannot be determined by emotional factors, but instead through recognition of the following facts. Firstly, Jews are definitely a race and not a religious belief. The Jew has, in general, preserved his race and character much more rigorously than many of the peoples among whom he lives. And as a result, living among us is a non-German alien race, unwilling and unable to sacrifice its racial distinctiveness, renounce its feelings, way of thinking, and aspirations. And despite this, having exactly all the political rights that we have. The feelings of the Jews concern purely material things, all the more so his thoughts and aspirations. Anything that makes people to aspire to higher goals, be it religion, socialism, or democracy, all of this is for him a means to an end, that is to satisfy his lust for money and power. And this has the following results. Anti-Semitism based on purely emotive grounds will ultimately only be expressed in pogroms. Intelligent anti-Semitism based on reason, on the other hand, must lead to a planned and legal combating and revocation of Jewish privileges. Its ultimate aim, however, must be the irreversible elimination of all Jews. So that is what Hitler mass murdered, or was at the helm of mass murdering the Jews for. It is, now some of this might not be very PC, but I'm just going to call it what it is. I've never seen a group of people more hated by both the left and the right at the same time for different reasons. The left hates the Jews because they believe that Jew is just a religion, and that based on that religion, Jews have white privilege. Now, there's multiple different problems with this take from the left. And one of them being that not all Jews are white, and that's an ignorant statement. The other being, as you guys know, on my 23andMe, it says that I am Ashkenazi Jew. It is in my DNA that I am Jewish. which makes it much more than a religion. Your religion doesn't show up in your DNA. And not all Jews have Jew show up in their DNA. That is true. Ashkenazis do, however. Sephardic Jews and Ashkenazi Jews, if that's who you are, if that's in your DNA, you are Jewish. Additionally speaking, if you've ever been to a Holocaust museum or read up on the Holocaust, then you know that the Jews could not hide from being Jewish. While when you see somebody in the street who is Jewish, you might not, although you might, but you might not necessarily know they're Jewish at first. Similarly, there are a lot of people who are parts of lots of ethnic groups that are white passing. It doesn't make them any less part of their ethnic group to be white passing. So to say visually you don't look like a Jew, so you're fine, is egregious because we were mass murdered anyway, regardless of what the left thinks that we look like, and regardless of the left continuing to just spew the fact that it's just a religion when it's not. Additionally, there are many people who are Jewish by blood, Jewish ethnically, who don't believe in God, who don't believe in the faith. And they are no less Jewish than somebody else who is religious. If you do not believe in Catholicism, you're not Catholic. If you do not believe in the Old Testament, you are still Jewish. Myself included. So for all of those reasons, the left's agenda on this is so far off. And then the right, and again, obviously these are mass generalizations, but the problem with the perspective on the right is that the right doesn't believe that there are any white Jews. The right believes that if you are Jewish, you are not white, and that you are not part of this superior race. And so Jews often, as I've talked about on this show before, and if you are really curious about this and want to educate yourself, you will read the book Jews Don't Count. Although if you have been listening to my show for years, then a lot of this information is not new to you. But we find ourselves in this group by ourselves where white people don't consider us white, and people of color don't protect us or consider us a minority because they consider us white, even those of us who are not white. And so it's very frustrating. So Whoopi claiming that the Holocaust was not about race came from a place of ignorance. Whoopi then was suspended from The View. She then apologized. She said she got it wrong. She was sorry. So she was put back on The View. And now almost 1 year later, because that was in February, so 10 and a half months later, Whoopi Goldberg made the exact same comments, saying that the Holocaust was not originally about race, when the Holocaust was almost entirely about race. And so you clearly weren't sorry and you wanted to get back on TV, and you haven't done what you needed to do to educate yourself. And why this is particularly problematic with Whoopi Goldberg is because Whoopi Goldberg, as I've told you guys in the past, picked her last name Goldberg, which I don't know any Jews who talk about cultural appropriation because we just want to assimilate and we just want to be loved and we just want people to like us. We just want people to accept us. But she literally picked a last name that was Jewish so that she could sound like she was Jewish. She has spoken on this. So she wanted a last name that sounded like she was Jewish, and she has referred to herself as Jewish, but she is not Jewish. She did not convert. She is not ethnically Jewish. She's not religiously Jewish. So she just picked a last name and thinks that it's like a label she can choose. And that's wildly problematic because she's uneducated when it comes to the Jewish people, which is fucking upsetting. Now, I grew up a massive Whoopi Goldberg fan. So this is alarming and frustrating because I don't want to sit here and have a fucking go to war with Whoopi Goldberg, who I would show you guys a picture, but I showed this to Seth the other day. For my school projects every year, I would dress like Whoopi Goldberg. I would obviously never did blackface, but I would dress like Whoopi Goldberg. I loved her clothes. I brought an Oscar to school. I would give speeches and memorize Whoopi Goldberg's words. I loved her. I loved Whoopi Goldberg as a kid. And it's just so disheartening that she couldn't take 1 second to educate herself on the Jewish people before speaking on us initially, then apologizing, which was clearly a fake apology, because she said the exact same thing a year later. And we live in a society where people don't educate themselves and they don't do the things that they need to do in order to be better, know more, do better. So it's wildly concerning and upsetting. And again, just another fucking time I have to come on the show and talk about what it is to be Jewish and why it isn't just a religion, but there are white Jews, but there was no such thing as Jewish privilege during the Holocaust, which is essentially what Whoopi Goldberg is pointing to, saying it wasn't about race when it was. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Questions, comments, concerns. What do you got? It is December 27th, and we have a couple of things rolling in. Joseph Ashley said, tried to tell kids of Santa, instead used toy elf on trash can in front of their window. They saw elf and boy ran outside, so I jumped gate running, but he was chasing me. I stopped running, telling him I thought the elf was chasing me, and he and his sis looked on roof at night. Just so I didn't understand any of that, but sounds fun, I think. Ryan Payne in the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, I'm sorry to see you're struggling today. I hope this will help you during your recovery. Second principle of Kwanzaa. Kuji Cha Golia. Self-determination. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Thank you. Happy Kwanzaa to you, Ryan, and to anybody who celebrates. I appreciate you. I remember last year, Glenn taught us about the principles of Kwanzaa, which I didn't know about the principles of Kwanzaa. And this year, I'm actually invited to a party on Thursday night celebrating, I think that night is Purpose. But very excited. Hopefully I'll be able to go to that. Hopefully I don't still have a cold. So yes, happy Kwanzaa. Ryan, what's best? Merry Kwanzaa? Happy Kwanzaa? And what is the proper verbiage? I guess that would be adjective. Would it be? Okay, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. My throat is on fire, so I'm only going to be here a couple more minutes. John Lestrina says, you got balls, man. Letty Ortiz. Totally. Oh boy. You guys talking about education matters. It does. And I do feel like we live in a society where people are more interested in saying sorry, putting a Band-Aid on something, and just getting back to work than they are on actually being the best versions of themselves. And I think that's an issue. We also live in a society where people don't feel comfortable asking questions. That doesn't excuse Whoopi in any way. And I'll be curious to see what they do now. A lot of people are calling for Whoopi to lose her job. I've seen a petition going around. absolutely have not and would not sign that. Whoopi Goldberg has said a lot of great things and has done a lot of great things for a lot of people. She's entertained us for years, and she has spoken up for many people who needed her to speak up for them. She's notoriously done a horrific job with the Jews, and that is something she needs to work on. This article from New York Post says Whoopi Goldberg forced to apologize again for repeating Holocaust slur. So let's see what this says. Whoopi Goldberg has once again apologized for her comments, claiming the Holocaust was not about race. A rep for the 67-year-old provided a statement to the Post on Tuesday, just days after a recent interview in which she reiterated the same Holocaust slur that got her suspended from The View last February. My best friend said, not for nothing is there no box on the census for the Jewish race. So that leads me to believe that we're probably not a race, Goldberg had told the Sunday Times of London. What is she talking about? In her new statement, she attempted to clarify that she was simply referencing her past harmful remarks, not doubling down on them. But she did double down. Recently, while doing press in London, I was asked about my comments from earlier this year. I tried to convey to the reporter what I had said and why, and attempted to recount the time. It was never my intention to appear as if I was doubling down on hurtful comments, especially after talking with and hearing people like rabbis and old and new friends weighing in. I'm still learning a lot, and believe me, I heard everything everyone said to me. I believe that the Holocaust was about race, and I am still as sorry now as I was then that I upset, hurt, and angered people. My sincere apologies again, especially to everyone who thought this was a fresh rehash of the subject. I promise it was not. It was, though. And she said, then she needs to speak more carefully, because I think she's just apologizing again because she got caught again. Like, she straight up said, what I was trying to say was the Holocaust wasn't originally about race. It's like she just said the same thing. She said, in this time of rising anti-Semitism, I want to be very clear when I say that I always stood with the Jewish people and always will. My support for them has not wavered and never will. The best way you can support us is to be better and to learn and to not repeat the same things that you said. Frustrating. Goldberg took part in a Sunday Times interview to promote her upcoming movie, Till, which she plays Alma Carthen, the mother of civil rights activist Mamie, whose 14-year-old son, Emmett Till, was tortured and lynched in 1955. While on the topic of race, Goldberg suggested there is a debate about whether Jews are a race or a religious group. When the interviewer reminded her that Nazis say Jews are a race, she responded and said, yes, but that's the killer, isn't it? The oppressor is telling you what you are. Why are you believing them? They're Nazis. Why are you believing what they're saying? It wasn't originally about race. Remember who they were killing first. They were not killing racial. They were killing physical. They were killing people they considered to be mentally defective, and then they made this decision. How did you not just double down? In what way did you not just double down? It's like, she's like, I wasn't rehashing it. You were doubling down. I don't know how you could hear that and think she was not doubling down. She literally explained her exact same previous beliefs again and then apologized again. You can't just keep apologizing if you don't get it, because you don't get it. Just fucking frustrating. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Okay. Shout out to Joseph and Ryan and John for the previous Streamlabs. You guys are fucking awesome. And shout out for the Streamlabs coming in right now from Jake Yakavetta. Thank you for that big support, Jake. He says, I really wish public figures would educate themselves before they speak. The people who watch them just accept what they say as fact, and it's fucking harmful. Unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. I know. It's not that I've never, and I don't have a platform like Whoopi, but I've misspoke a million times in my life. But I can't recall a time that I misspoke or said something, apologized for it, and then did it again. Like, Whoopi, you say you stand with the Jews, but how can you stand with the Jews when the Jews don't feel supported by you? You can't just say I stand by the Jews and then say things that perpetrate anti-Semitic beliefs and responses. Like, then you don't stand with the Jews. Anybody can say I stand with the Jews, but you don't. And your statement again is just exactly that, doubled down. Jimmy Nails in the Streamlabs, big support. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. He says, I'm so freaking tired of celebrities saying dumb shit. I know. They have to say stupid opinions. Why can't they at least keep them to themselves? Long string of curse words. Breathe out the icky stuff. Breathe in golden sparkles. Much love to you and the rock stars. Thank you for that Zen Glenn reminder. Jimmy, you're the best. I know. And it's like, I don't want to fucking sit here on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. saying anything bad about Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg has brought me so much joy. And this is a celebrity who, like, I followed my whole life. I loved Whoopi growing up. Loved. I don't want to. And also, like, there's real issues going on in the world. And there's real fucking Nazis out there that are beating up Jews in the streets. Obviously, Whoopi is not that, but I don't think she realizes that her words hold weight. And she's apologizing, but she's putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. She has to learn. And she didn't. And she's like, oh, and instead of this time being like, I clearly still didn't learn, she was like, no, don't worry. I got it. I got it last time I listened. Babe, not well enough, because you didn't get it, clearly. Joseph Ashley in the streamlabs.com/Roxy said, I asked you and the World Girls about family making me tell them about Santa, but I did my last Santa thing for them. I know you told me that, but I don't get the elf on the trash can thing. But I hope it worked, whatever it was. Because you said, let's see, you said, tried to tell kids Santa, instead used toy elf on trash can. How did the toy elf on the trash can tell them that Santa doesn't exist? How? Cena in the chat says, what sucks is she's a black woman saying this. How are you, a black woman who is also a member of a marginalized group, saying stupid shit about another marginalized group? It's the frustrating part, Cena, because it's like, I'm like, there's this is another black woman on Twitter who was going after me about the Whoopi stuff. And it's so frustrating because it's like, my beef is not with black women. My beef is with fucking neo-Nazis in the street. But we can't just let whoever, man, woman, non-binary person, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter, say things about Jews that are not true. And so I just wish that Whoopi could stop. Somebody on Twitter, she said to me, I'll find this for you guys. She said, I responded, so frustrating. She said to me, I said, after a year after being suspended from The View for saying the Holocaust wasn't about race, Whoopi Goldberg has come out to say the Holocaust wasn't about race. This is why education is so important, or people don't actually grow. Here are Hitler's words, and then I read to you guys what they were. Additionally, I want people who think there was Jewish privilege during the Holocaust, which is essentially what Whoopi is saying, to really think about this. If you could hide the fact that you were Jewish, why did Jews hide in attics and floors instead of walk the streets? And she responded and said, I don't think that that's essentially what she's saying at all. You're speaking from a place of bias and privilege. And it's like, I see her from speaking from a place of bias. You said I was speaking from a place of bias. If speaking as a Jew on Jewish issues is a place of bias, then any member of any community speaking about their community is bias. How come anytime I say anything, I'm speaking from a place of bias and privilege? And of course, I've talked about this on the show a million times. I personally, today in America, do have white privilege. Now, a lot of people know that I'm Jewish, and a lot of people know that I'm Jewish based on how I look or how I sound. but some people don't. But that's not relevant in this tweet, and also not relevant when it comes to the Holocaust, and bias. I don't even know what to say. And she said, I was obviously referring to your words about what's going on with Whoopi Goldberg, not about being Jewish, obviously. Whoopi Goldberg's words were about Jews, though. Which makes no sense. Like, and I don't want to be like, I'm tired of feeling like I'm allies to people who are not allies to me. And that goes for so many people in the world. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why won't anybody really be allies to the Jews? And I told you guys, because of the two different sides, look how they look at us. It's really, really difficult. King Dingaling says, I'm going to LA for the national title game. National title game. What is the national title game? Staying in Hilton downtown. Any recommendations on dispensaries or food in downtown area? I don't live there anymore. It depends on what kind of food. There's a lot of great tacos downtown. When I lived there, there's a place called Bacaro that was downtown that has these amazing tapas. There's a place called Bottega Louie that I always loved that was in this old bank. There's a place with what's that called? Ribs that you dip, like a rib sandwich that you dip. That's so fucking good. And au jus, the first one ever, is there. That's great. There's just dispensaries on every corner. So national title game. Oh, college football. Sorry, I don't pay attention to college sports at all. I didn't have to pay attention to college sports. In the Streamlabs, massive fucking support. Ash, thank you so much, my dear. You killed it today for us this morning and for me now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, hi, Roxy. Thanks for all the things this year. Hope to see you in more movies. I'm getting all the jobs next year. Also, there's something about your hair today that I really like, but I can't figure out exactly what. I think it's just called unwashed and swept to the side. I want to get in the shower, but I was feeling a little dizzy earlier, so just kind of threw it back up. Anyway, oh, French dip. Thank you, Sina. Thanks, babe. The French dip. That's it. Okay. Anyway, have a blast downtown, by the way. It is super fun there, but be careful. It's also, I went to a restaurant there the other day that was this Greek or Mediterranean place. It was so fucking good. I don't remember the name of it. I know that wasn't helpful. Downtown food is the best food in LA, though. There's also a, what is it called? They do it. I was supposed to go with Sushi Guy, but we didn't go. They do it in Brooklyn. It's like an outdoor market where, smorgasbord that people love. Yeah. Jake says, oh, prime rib. I was like, I never had a rib sandwich with a dip. Sorry. I forgot the word prime. It's fine. It's fine. Do it. We're all doing the best we can. All right, my loves. Thank you so much, Ash, again, for that massive support. And to everybody who supported today on the show, Joseph, Jimmy, Jake, John, Ryan, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In the super chat as well, King Dingaling. I really appreciate you guys. Times are fucking tough. And I'm going to be here every day for the end of the year with you guys. So we'll be here 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. And then I'll let you guys know after that. Oh, Jake, I didn't know that Adam gets smorgasbord set up. That's cool. Much love, my friends. Stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want the flumes. Don't try with the Holocaust. She did it over Hanukkah. She did it over fucking Hanukkah. What have I been saying, Whoopi? Don't trend with the Holocaust, bro. Just for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Big ups and thoughts to Glenn. I was reading Jimmy as he said, love you. Love to Jimmy too, but thoughts to Glenn. Golden Sparkles, baby. We're thinking about you. Joseph Ashley in the Streamlab says, I did toy elf in front of their window instead of telling them about Santa. I don't think I can take joy and fancy from that. Oh, so you didn't tell them about Santa. Gotcha. I thought you were saying you used that to tell them about Santa. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. Please wish for less of a sore throat tomorrow. Damn. Please kick this soon. Much love and appreciation to all of you guys. Happy holiday season, or as Glenn always tells us, insert whatever adjective here. Okay. Later.